My apologies. I've been having some technical issues over here, but I'm still sorting through everything. But like I said, I hope you all are having a good weekend. Um, the Academy Awards was really interesting. I'm glad to see all of the awards and nominees. It was really interesting. I loved the bits that Jimmy Kimmel touched on, especially when Jimmy Kimmel made reference to the security and how nerdy the security was, and how I guess the awards have like a team of people on standby to clean up another mess, because we all know what happened last year when Will Smith walked on stage and struck Chris Rock, which even still today was probably the lowest thing anyone could have done. Um, I had an idea. I think Chris Rock should sue Will Smith. Will Smith should accept the lawsuit, accept the payout of about $200 million. Shouts out to Jim Carrey for that, because a lot of that is ubiquitous. It's going to be around forever. People are still talking about it. But yeah, I do believe that Will Smith is in a really interesting situation where Jada Pinkett Smith pretty much has him by the balls, and a way to alleviate that is to have Chris Rock file a lawsuit for some substantial amount, like much of Will Smith's net worth, right? Agree to those terms, pay out Chris Rock, right? And then divorce Jada Pinkett Smith. Because here's the thing, I would rather have Chris Rock have that wealth than Jada Pinkett Smith, because that's some trifling stuff. Now, there was a video that Will Smith posted not too long ago, saying that I guess he and Jada split again, and he was saying that he want to see her happy and to see if it's even possible to make her happy, because basically what he's insinuating is, regardless of what he could do, that woman would never be happy. And it's weird how her happiness is at the forefront of anything. You know, she took vows, for better, for worse, for sickness and poor, to death do us part. All of this stuff. Where the hell does it say happiness? This woman has duty, and she's neglecting these duties, and she's sleeping with other men, and people are just dismissing all of that. And like I said, I mean, to a certain degree, I feel sorry for Will Smith, because he's being put in a really weird situation where he's trying to be this really macho man for his wife, but in actuality, he's just being more of a sucker simp beta. And it's not really working out too well for him. On the contrary, it's making things worse. And he really needs to sit down with a therapist, specifically a male therapist, not a therapist that was recommended by Jada Pinkett Smith, because one of the worst therapists a wife could bring on board is a womanist feminist therapy. I mean, the guy wouldn't have a chance in any sit down session, because it would be all negative toward him. He's not doing enough. What can he do to make her feel better? What can he do to make her feel happy? All of this stuff. All of this stuff that Will Smith did for that woman, and she still gives him such a hard time. But anyway, back to this. I had to go on that little rant. So tomorrow, I guess Kevin Samuels' account has been altered. There's been a lot of changes with the titles with all of his videos. Someone had placed the copyright insignia symbol on the titles of all of his videos, and you've seen some other little updates. And someone actually posted a thumbnail advertisement about something that's happening tomorrow, some sort of live stream that's happening on Kevin Samuels' original channel. So whoever has control of his channel now, I'm hoping that it's his daughter or whomever, but hopefully it's his daughter and she could continue his work. That would be amazing if you had Kevin Samuels' daughter continuing his work. Okay? That would just be so phenomenal. But anyway, again, this video that I'm getting ready to showcase here, it's one of his old videos. Like I said, it was posted last year, It was the last video that was posted on his Instagram before he died. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And before, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I appreciate the help. You know, I'm a struggle streamer, so help me out. Hit that notification bell. I appreciate all of the support. Um, you know, subscribing, it doesn't cost you anything. It just beyond the little click. It takes a fraction of a second just to hit that little subscribe button. And if you want to really do me a solid, hit me that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. You know, the little bell. If you hit that, you would be doing me a solid. I would really appreciate it. All right, so here we go.
Okay, you need to. Okay, I'm about to get back on camera. Just get wherever you're gonna get to.
So I'm assuming that the woman that he's talking to is the same woman that was with him during his final moments before he passed, I think, from a heart attack or something like that. But so the woman that was in his place, I think she was the last person that was with him. There's been a lot of weird speculation, her being a nurse and all of this other stuff. But there's no real valid information. The family's keeping it pretty private, but
You got it. Okay. All right. Do. All right. Let's get it.
let's get it.
Bring these folks on. Boom.
Haram!
Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine. Can I not be on camera?
Huh?
No.
Well, it's
Yeah.
fine.
He said no.
It's
Yeah, you gotta be on. You gotta be on Instagram.
Hi,
Okay.
Ethan.
How old are you?
I am 37.
All right. What's the question or the comment?
Your question was, am I
Yeah. What
a
are y'all holding out for?
party of one?
Yeah. What are women holding out for?
I don't know. I was married and divorced.
I tell you
didn't
what they're
hold
holding out on. They're holding out for OnlyFans. Just nothing but OnlyFans. That's it. OnlyFans is their main thing. And then after that time comes and, you know, now they're really wanting to settle down and take things serious and no man is giving them the time of day, then they want to complain and you hear the sob story. I didn't know. It's not my fault. You shouldn't judge my past. I was just a little girl. Come on.
out, but I wouldn't say that I'm holding out today. I just, after listening to you, I don't see any hope in anything.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like my market value is not as high as it used to be
I
prior
feel
to
like,
marriage.
oh my
I have 2
gosh.
children. I'm
It's
divorced.
not as high as it used to be.
I feel
Yeah.
like.
Well, that's. I
I'm gonna
mean,
start putting that I feel
anything
like
that
counter.
ages and gets used decreases. So, I mean, that's expected, though, right?
Correct.
Okay,
It
go
was
ahead.
expected though. So
Huh? What'd you say?
I said divorce wasn't expected. So I wasn't, planning on the decline. But I guess I'm a party of one now, and I don't know like how it works or when
Who filed for divorce?
my husband did,
Why'd you guys split?
because I didn't know how to be a wife.
Okay,
I wasn't taught.
okay. So, is that a more accurate reason why you feel like there's no hope?
Yeah.
So, it's not the declining sexual marketplace value or the divorce, it's you.
I think it's a combination. I mean, now
She
that
said,
I'm
I think
learning,
it's a
I mean,
combination.
I've learned a lot since the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with the knowledge that I have, I don't know if there's anything out there that would accommodate
Anything out there that what?
anything that would accommodate my situation. I mean, who wants to take care of someone else's kids and,
Your
do
ex-husband married?
no. Probably watching.
Damn.
Then why not go back to him?
I've tried. He doesn't want.
Why do you think that is?
Haram!
I don't think he's seen a change in me.
What's the name of your therapist?
Kevin Samuels. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have one.
Wow.
You know what
Please.
that is?
What's that?
Come
The
on.
world's smallest violin playing My Heart Bleeds for You. I mean, what do you want us to say, man? I mean, you're married. You honest and said he divorced me because I didn't know how to be a husband. But then you go to the market and say, I don't think there's any hope because of declining sexual marketplace value. That happens for everybody, for all women in particular. It doesn't necessarily happen for all men, but yeah, our value decreases too. But then you don't know nobody who will accommodate your situation. Yeah, the man you started your situation with. But why doesn't he want you back? Because you ain't done nothing.
Ain't done nothing.
I wouldn't say that. I think
You ain't-
I mean, I have gone to therapy. I have not in active therapy,
Cap.
but I
How
think
long? What's the longest continuous time you've been in therapy?
so. During the marriage, closest to the divorce, I was in therapy for the last 2 years, trying to.
Whoa. Let's back up. You were in therapy for 2 years and you still haven't learned anything. Come on. I don't believe it.
Rectify the marriage.
No,
Don't
you
believe it.
one-on-one by yourself.
I was alone with that. I was alone in that.
So
I-
when you were in your marriage, you
Correct.
were doing therapy by yourself?
Correct. When I saw things were going, hectic, I knew that I was doing wrong. I knew that I had a part to play, and I sought therapy. And the therapist kept telling me to get a divorce, and I didn't like that. Yeah.
Was your
Whoa. Your therapist told you to get a divorce? I mean, come on. I mean, really? Really?
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
therapist male or female?
A female.
Of course it's a female. That's Cap. It's Cap. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I went to the church. I went to the church after that and sought the therapy through, counsel through the church, through ministerial counsel and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That worked out a little better, but by then it was just too late. I didn't actually, go through with full therapy. He had already, too much water was under the bridge and it was already over.
What do you mean it was already over?
I guess he had already had enough of everything. I mean, I stayed home with the boys. I raised the kids. I did the
What did he want you to do?
Shut up.
Why didn't you do that?
Honestly, hindsight is 2020. I don't know why I didn't do that. At the time, I didn't know why. I mean, now, looking back, I was stupid. I was angry. I didn't read all the stuff that I read now, and I've been hooked on for the last 5 years, and you and a lot of other people that talk about these types of things and the anger inside of us at times that we get from our moms and their anger.
And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. You allow people that are not in your immediate family to help you disrupt and destroy and wreck your own family. The cackling hyenas in the background. Every single time. You allow them to do this. They helped you destroy your family. Oh my gosh.
So I learned a lot, but when it was time to get him back, I mean, it's been too long. It's been 5 years. He's in and out of different relationships, and then of course the divorce battle, right? That was a problem.
Wow.
Is it he's gone on or you haven't done enough work?
I maybe both, but I've been trying. I mean, it's been 5 years. I and moved on. And the thing is, I'm scared of the market, right? So I'm scared to. I haven't gone back because I don't think that there's anything out there. I believe in marriage. I believe in the
Well,
oneness.
the market's out there. The market's out there, but the market's going to ask the same questions I'm asking.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, wait, what happened? You got kids? How many kids? And what happened? You couldn't get on your ex-husband's program, and so you think you're gonna divorce him, get back out here on the dating market, and another guy that's supposed to be better because according to you, your husband was lesser than this other guy, right? Or your husband is so bad, but you think a better guy is going to come in and take you on and take on another man's kids and a sketchy baby daddy. How the hell does that make sense? Come on now.
I don't know.
What did you think you were going to get? I mean, when you were when you're in your marriage and being the way you were, what were you fighting for?
You know what? I don't know. I just saw my mom do it. I did what I saw her do.
Your mom was married?
No, she just fought with all of her boyfriends and fought with us. And I
That's a big red flag. That's a really big red flag. So let's rewind. So you come from a background where your mom constantly fought with all of her exes, and you're expecting to have a good outcome from all of that now that you're out here trying to establish yourself?
Who has custody of the boys?
I do.
How old is the youngest?
8.
Jeez.
How did they see their father?
Not often at all.
Why?
He says he's not financially stable to see them or take them because I take all his money after the divorce. So he blames me for that. But I offer, I ask, I beg him.
Hold on.
I mean, he doesn't.
What state are you in?
Pennsylvania.
Do you get child support?
I do.
Cut off the child support.
There you go.
How will I be able to help take care of the kids?
Ah.
See?
I need that.
Okay, cut off the child support and have actual joint custody with your ex-husband.
Oh, she don't want that.
Straight up joint.
Because that messes up her money. She doesn't want that at all. If she does that, all of her funding that she get, it's all messed up.
3.5 days with you, or 4 days with you, 3 days with him, 3 days with you, 4 days with him, no child support.
Uh-huh.
Listen. That would send a damn sure close signal that you're on trying to actually do something different.
Yep.
It would also give your boys more time with the man they need to be with, their father. If he's saying the money is draining him, well, man, cut the child support off. You're doing good things. How will it hurt your boys if you cut child support and you actually have joint physical custody with their father? To where now the reason for the money is gone because he has to pay for them when they're with him. You have to pay for them when they're with you. So there's no need for the money.
She don't like that because that messes up her money.
How does it hurt the boys?
I understand what you're saying.
But
it doesn't hurt them at all.
But there you go.
If he doesn't have a place to live, where would he take them half of the time?
So he lives in his car?
He live on somebody's couch.
Are you getting child support every month?
Yeah.
Jeez. Unbelievable. Wow.
So he's on somebody's couch.
I didn't ask him to do that.
Oh,
I didn't say you asked her to do it, but I just want you to understand that from the man's standpoint, ain't nobody gonna have shed one tear
Yep.
because you were with a man and you said it. And now after the marriage, you getting the money. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but what's more important, having a functioning relationship with your ex and having your boys with their father and having some similar.
And this is one of the main issues, because what happens is the system allows women to weaponize the system against the father and capitalize on it. And it's super, super messed up. Super messed up.
Of a family or this Cold War?
I just feel like Kevin didn't ask
feel
for
like-
anything. I begged him to stay. I promised. I went to therapy.
No. See, you can beg him to stay, but I asked you the first thing, what was the name of your therapist? And the problem is he hasn't seen enough change. If you, let's just imagine this happens. Let me use my Thanos powers. Shall we? Let me use my Thanos powers. Hello, Eric. Hey, this is me. Yeah. You know, I want to do something. The boys, I don't see you that often, and I know you're in this way, and you say it's on me because I get the money. So here's what I want to do. I went down to the court and I actually terminated the support order. I terminated the support order, and I want to have joint custody, joint physical custody with the boys. I give you about 90 days to get yourself together to where you have a place to where the boys can come over there. So you should be able to do that with the money you get.
Damn.
There's videos on YouTube right here with women who have cut off the child support, and been.
She don't want that. She don't want that to happen because she needs that money. She wants that money. Again, women are able to weaponize the system to capitalize, and she's not ready, willing, or able to do that. She's holding that over his head so that he can't be with his kids.
Helpful to the ex-husband, and now they're in a better position. How does that hurt the boys?
It doesn't hurt them at all, Kevin.
So do you not think if you cut the support off, what do you think he would do?
I think he wouldn't, because I think the number would change.
So you think if you cut the child support that he would not see the boys?
Correct. We were separated for 5 years and 3.
So let me stop you right here. I want you to stop you right here.
Yes, sir.
You want to get back with the man who you said if you cut the child support off, I to keep the money and still not see the boys.
Correct.
So why you want to get back with a man with such a low character? If that's what you really believe.
I literally believed in the sanctity of marriage.
That's not what I asked.
Gosh.
I asked, why would you want to get back with a man? Because see, there's fear here, and I'm trying to understand why you want to go back to this man. If you're saying I'm dealing with a man, if I cut the child support off and offer him joint custody, he'd just take the money and still be out of his boy's life. You don't think very highly of him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yep.
But I still love him.
Oh,
I mean, I'm married, and I think that means something. I mean, I love my brother. He may not be the best person in the world, but I love him.
Did you hear what you just said?
And it's a joke. It's a joke. How is this funny?
And I want you to think about what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. You're in charge of raising 2 boys?
Yep.
And you don't think very highly of their father.
I don't tell them that.
Do you know when your children are sick, even without them telling you? Do you know when something's wrong with one of your children just by looking at them?
Yeah.
Why? Because you raised them and they're around you. Guess what? We know our mamas just like they know us. I don't know why the hell y'all think just because you don't say nothing, we don't know.
Can I say something?
Oh, gosh.
So we were separated for 5 years. 3 out of the 5 years, I asked for no child support. I asked for nothing. He told me. I asked him for money for food. He said, put me on child support.
Man, I don't care. I'm going to tell you why I don't care. Because there's 3 sides to every story. Yours isn't the truth. I don't give a shit about who shot John. You said that Why are you want to get back with him? I'm trying to understand why you want to get back with a man that you don't think very highly of.
Because I was told that I'm supposed to stay with one husband until he's dead. That's what I was told. And I believe he may be a piece of crap, but I'm
Whoa.
stay with him.
Hold on. Wait a goddamn minute, man.
I don't mean, oh my gosh.
Wait a goddamn minute.
It's hypothetically.
There is no hypothetical. I don't do that over here.
I'm so
Run
sorry.
that shit on some feminist channel. Don't come call your ex-husband and the man that you created life with a piece of crap.
And this is the problem. This is the problem. This is going to be ubiquitous. It's going to be online forever. Does she not understand that? And again, it's this perpetual victimization that I'm a victim. I'm constantly a victim. I never did anything. And it's him, and I've never done anything. I'm just a victim.
Haram!
I'm just a victim.
Haram!
I'm sorry. I did not mean it.
The internet is forever. What do you think?
I didn't mean it like that. I
What did you
meant
mean it
like
as?
Oh, you meant it in a nice way.
no. I just meant it in like
Stop.
hypothetically.
Stop. Stop. When you're in a ditch, stop digging. What do you think it's like to live with you?
Probably not easy, not fun. Some good stuff, but
So do you think if you're around somebody who's difficult or not easy to live with, that they have an impact on your psyche?
of course.
Do you think he doesn't love his boys?
I never said that.
So do you think it bothers him not to be around his sons?
I can't answer that.
Come on.
Yes, you can, and you will.
Come on. You don't know that the father of your children don't want to be around his kids? Come on now. Of course he wants to be with his kids. Of course.
Do I think it doesn't bother him that he's not around his sons?
Jeez.
Nobody's stopping him from being around the boys.
Now ask.
Except for you. You're the one who's stopping him. You're the one that's doing everything to prevent it. You're the one that's putting up these obstacles, these barriers to make it more difficult for him to have any semblance of a relationship with his kids. You are weaponizing his kids against him. You are weaponizing the system against him. Come on.
Yes, I'm sure it bothers him. It would bother me.
Okay. This is everything we've talked about so far has been about you. You're the chaotic center of all of this. And if the world was balanced, he should have custody of those boys.
100%.
Prior to 1945, he would have had custody.
I'm not opposed to custody. He asked,
But then you'd be paying child support.
Uh-oh.
he asked for it at one point in time, and his living situation, he gave it back. He said,
Okay, man. Here's what I mean. Here's the thing. There's always going to be, like I said, the market is what it is, and the market's going to look at how you handled your. Why'd you quit your last job? Did you quit or were you fired? Who's your former employee? If your marriage was a job, you're not talking very highly of your job. So I'm stuck on the fact that you say he doesn't see his boys, not because he doesn't love them. Because he said, you taking all the money. You said he's living on the couch. So he doesn't have a resident.
And then she says, I don't know why he's so broke. Come on. You don't know? You don't know? Come on now. You're taking his money from him.
that's what he said. He's telling me he couldn't take the kids. He can't take them overnight because of my financial situation. So
He doesn't
I
have a
don't
residence.
have anywhere to live or have
So
anywhere.
what happens when the boys ask where their dad is? When they say they want to see your dad?
They don't anymore. But when they used to, I would call him, tell him, come get the kids. The kids is asking for you. They're outside. You know, we live in a neighborhood where they could play outside. He could come by.
So does he not, so, but he does have a job.
He does.
Is he paying more than $1,000 a month in child support?
He is.
More than $1,500 a month?
No. He was.
In what state?
Pennsylvania. It was included with alimony.
And alimony.
I got
Alimony?
child support. Yeah.
And alimony. She's getting alimony. And she's complaining. And she's wondering why this guy is barely scraping by. These are barriers you're putting up to prevent your child's father from coming.
How long were y'all married?
About 10 years.
Alimony.
Why'd you take alimony?
That's a lot. But the marital settlement agreement provided some benefits.
Did you work during the marriage?
I did not.
And for my critics and detractors, I want you guys to ask yourself a question. Men don't typically file divorce.
I did not file for divorce. And
I said men don't typically file for divorce. And then you're getting alimony and child support. All right? At the end of the day, man, I can see why you're talking about the market. I don't know who want to deal with this in the market either. But I'm not really concerned about your dating life. I'm asking about the boys. They don't see their dad. You're saying that he says he doesn't see him because of the money, but I'm saying the two adults need to get the shit together to where the kids can see both of y'all.
I agree.
And if money, and I'm saying.
And if she really, really wanted the father to be with the kids, there's so much she could do. But she knows she could weaponize the system against the father. She knows it.
I asked a critical question. If you cut the support off, you'd think he would see the boys. And you said no. You need to answer the question of why you think that is. Because why don't you think he would see them?
Because he's done it in the past. 3 whole years. Whole years of not seeing the kids, no child support, all his money, no alimony.
Where was he at?
He was right up the street, less than a couple miles away. He worked. He had his fun. I didn't bother them. I went and got a job. I went and provided. I kept the house. I kept the mortgage. I kept the mortgage paid. Didn't ask for anything. It wasn't until I lost.
She was able to get everything from that divorce. The house, the mortgage, everything. The kids, the money. Probably got his 401k. And that's the thing with marriage in Western culture. It devastates men. You have men that would work throughout their lives to build some semblance of a foundation for themselves, and they could be stripped away from them because someone isn't happy or someone wasn't feeling a certain way. And men can't really recover that anymore because they're older, they're tired. They can't do the same things they used to do, and it took them decades to build that up. But you notice something, right? Let's back up just a moment. She had said that he filed for divorce, but she got everything. She got everything. Why would a man file for divorce and relinquish all of that stuff he worked much of his life for?
It's my job, or had to cut back.
So you didn't work during the marriage?
Correct.
Did you guys have financial pressures in the marriage?
No, not at all.
Has he changed jobs?
When we were married, he had a steady job.
Right.
Since he's been divorced, he's gone through lots of different jobs.
What was his profession?
Social work.
Okay.
He was a social worker. He worked in law enforcement. He could do that. He has a bachelor's degree. social work, but he worked.
But does he have any substance abuse problems?
Not at all.
So he was steadily employed and you were a housewife.
Yep.
But post-divorce, now you're a working woman.
Correct.
And right, wrong, or indifferent, all this was preferable to just getting along with your husband?
I tried.
You didn't try hard enough. You didn't try hard enough.
You went to counseling, but I'm always leery when I hear women go to counseling by themselves. You went to counseling by yourself, then you went to Christian counseling. But at the end of the day, he divorced you for irreconcilable differences?
I don't know why he divorced me. I never read the papers. I never signed them. I
You didn't ask him?
do it.
Sounded more suspicious.
Divorce. I don't even know what the divorce decree
Was
said.
there another woman?
There were plenty of those.
No. When
Something isn't adding up here.
did he leave you for another woman?
I don't think so.
Was he still a social worker when he left you?
Yeah.
So when he divorced you, he was making money.
Yes. No. After the divorce. No.
You know, when he filed for divorce or whatever, he was still earning.
Correct.
Right. And the order is set likely on his previous earnings, not his current earnings.
Correct.
You haven't modified that?
So that the court didn't, because he willfully acted out in court and got himself thrown in jail, which is why he lost the job. So the judge held him to that earning, is contempt of court.
The judge you didn't basically. So you're saying it's the judge?
I know the judge can hold him in earning capacity. I can't.
You can, man. The judge can't make somebody. Child support is an agreement between you two. You can decide to go cut child support off tomorrow. You can decide to go get $1 in child support.
All right, but you asked if he had an earning capacity and who held him.
Right, and I'm saying that he was earning one thing at once, and then he lost his job, and he's earning less, but his income, his child support is still set at his previous earning level.
Correct.
Don't you think it would be fair to lower that to match his current? If he's saying money's an issue.
I mean, I sacrificed we sent him to school for him to have this degree.
And there it is right there. There it is right there. Now she's going back to what she thinks she did for him. Therefore, he owes her. He owes her. So she's using the system to get hers back.
So that I'm the one with the high school education. So why should he get lower to my income? Wow. I don't think that would be fair.
Wow.
He has an X amount of dollar, and he's choosing not to.
Man, so you think do you think he chose to just make less money? You think he's you think he's happier making less money?
I know for a fact he chose to make less money.
Oh my God. All right. I don't know. You know what? My bullshit meter is going
Unbelievable.
I'm telling you.
No.
Unbelievable.
I'm kind of done. Ma'am, so you want us to believe that a man chooses to go make less money for what? For what, pray tell? Why? What would be the reason a man chooses to make less money?
Because he thought, like you're saying, that the court would lower the amount, and they didn't.
So you want me to believe that the support order was set at one thing, but he decided to say, you know what? I don't want to make $70,000 a year. I want to make 40, so I can pay less child support.
No, he decided to curse out the judge and get thrown into jail.
I didn't say anything about him and the judge. I said the job. I don't give a shit about the court. Because here's one thing. I want you to understand. If you've never been to family court, you don't understand how adversarial it is for men.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And the thing is, there's your side, his side, and truth. I'm saying, why would a man making X decide to make less than X? What does that do to his standard of living? Increase it or decrease it?
Again, only thing I could think
What
of.
would that do? Increase it or decrease it?
Decrease it, of course.
So you think he's decreasing his standard of living so he can pay decreased child support?
Haram!
That's the only thing I could come up with.
That makes logical sense. That makes
Why,
no sense. Men don't decrease their earnings to pay less child support
so why wouldn't he work a
Jeez.
job the same type of job he was working when we were married?
because that's not how it always works. Look, man, that's not how it always works. And that's the problem. In the family court system, modifications go one way, up. It is rare that a man gets a modification down, even when he.
And might I add, the economy always goes different ways too, so that could be a factor. He could have lost his job, he could have received decreased hours. There's so many factors, but for him to get a lesser job that pays less so that he can't pay you as much, men don't operate that way.
Loses a job. I know because I couldn't get one. I know because I know many men who couldn't get one.
Jeez.
I know because when I started in family court and with men's groups, that men can lose jobs. The economy takes a dip. The sectors are gone, but they tell you to go get 3 jobs because they make money off of it. The family court system makes money off of it. And man, if money is at the issue and you're really talking about trying to move with this man in good faith, you're getting alimony, you're getting child support set it at what his previous income was. And your theory is, well, he did all this because of his attitude despite the judge. That's beautiful when the judge is on your side. I don't give a shit that he cussed out the judge, man. Let's say that happened. You could still say, that's your daddy. He had a bad day, whatever. I don't want to lower it down. But what you said was, why should I do that? So I've already put him through.
And she made very clear too that because she thought that she helped him in the past, he pretty much owes her. So she's basically using the system to get hers back. It's unbelievable.
I did this for him, so child support's to pay you back for putting him through school.
No.
See, child support becomes all kind of shit for women.
Yeah.
Child
I
support,
asked you why not modify it, and I said, why don't you do? Well, why don't, man? That's what you said.
I said he went to school. He has a degree. He's
So-
the one that was making all the money.
And
So-
it was. Industries change. He's not making all the money.
The industry changed because he quit his job. When you quit a job, no one fired you. You quit your job. So what do I say when you continue to quit jobs when you see that they're garnishing the maximum allowable amount, which is 55% in the state of Pennsylvania,
55%. God damn.
Wow.
and
They're
you're
supposed to
quitting
take 55%.
you're quitting your job to work door get paid.
I
However,
want you guys to understand.
I don't
My
understand.
critics, I hope y'all were able to listen to all of this because I know y'all were like, oh, he's wrong, so forth. But it is all coming out. This is what men have been reduced to. Ma'am, at the end of the day, I keep asking about your boys. This is between you and him. What about the boys? Can he put his shit to the side and you put your shit to the side so the boys can have a relationship with both the mother and the father? I don't give a shit about you or him. How about them? Who shot John and who hurt who and who did what at prom? I don't give 2 fucks about.
So if I take him off of child support for 90 days or 6 months and he still doesn't get it together, then do I put him back on then at that point?
Look at this. It's crazy how they're able to weaponize the system like that. Well, if I do this and he don't act right, should I put him back on? It's like, come on.
How long do I?
This is
Why are you
crazy.
going in? I want to know why you don't think he's going to. I want you guys to understand where the question comes from. It's a bad faith question. And this is why family court is so jacked up. Giving women leverage and access to future earnings for past relationships is crazy.
But he's done
You're
it.
assuming he's going to do
insane.
the worst.
He's done it before. I'm only holding.
And so have you, man.
If him
We
being
haven't even talked about this shit, man, is when you were married, you were doing the worst.
all right. Well, if I'm
No, all right. No, all right. Because you said you still want to get back with this man. You still want to. It's all alive, man. Anybody can hear it.
it's fine. I understand. But if I'm held to my resume, why is he not held to his? If
I
his,
don't give a shit about your resume and his resume. What about the boys?
that's what I'm saying.
No.
Correct.
And see, the thing is, man, you keep going back. Well, what if he doesn't do it? So how about this? How about this then? Just like you wanted him to give you good faith, grace, and some mercy, that you had change and give you another shot because you've done the work, right?
because I've asked for
Excuse
them.
me. Do the same for him. Give him the benefit of that. Stop. You want him to give you the benefit of the doubt? You give him the benefit of the doubt.
I got to give a Samuel and Ultra.
How does that hurt you? How does that hurt you?
Financially, it would hurt me because I'm
Not it.
the same money in the household. I need the money.
Man, we're not okay. It hurts you financially for how long?
I have no idea. That's the fear.
That's what I said. I
Fear.
said joint custody.
Fear, scarcity, and lack.
Joint custody. That means he has the boys, you have the boys. See, this is why I go to this selfishness party of one thing. To you, this sounds right. And to me, I'm trying to figure out how can the boys end up having a relationship with the mother and father, and how can y'all get to some point of possibly a no resolution? But it's going to take you experiencing some setback too. You want him to give you a shot, to give you the benefit of the doubt that you've changed, and that would show a different thing, because the woman right here doesn't. I can see why you probably don't believe anything's changed. Because what have you done? You've gone to some therapy. Therapy is supposed to go to an action. It's supposed to do something to soften your heart, to give you some grace, some mercy, to understand some empathy, to understand where people are coming from. Well, he lost his job. He quit his job. He cussed out this. Okay, so we're supposed to listen to your issues and your drama, but men can't have it. We're just supposed to keep out here steady, performing, and that's what I want you guys to understand. We are tools. We're utilities. We're not supposed to feel. We're not supposed to think. You can't make no mistakes, but they can make mistakes. And at the end of the day, man, you're raising two boys. You're raising two boys, and how they view themselves is going to be directly tied to how you view men, how you view their father, how you interact with men, whether you like it or not. So,
I love their father, and that's
this is love. This is why I say I don't give a shit about your love, people. This is what I mean. This is why I say I don't give a shit about your love. Respect. You love them, but you don't respect it. Because as soon as I said, why don't you come to him with an offer? I'm going to pause child support. I'm going to give you joint custody and cut off child support. So we split the boys 50-50, and we come up with a new way of doing this. And I'm going to give you some time to get yourself up there, because you said 90 days. I'm not asking for you, but you automatically go to, well, what if he fucks me? You mean like you fucked him?
I didn't fuck him, Kevin.
With your attitude. You said, I'm talking about in the marriage, you said not being a good wife.
Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know.
Doesn't matter unbeknownst to not, the outcome is the same.
All right, but it wasn't deliberate. It wasn't something that I did deliberately.
See, you're still going back to the fact, man, okay. You're still going back to the fact you didn't do it. Okay, fine, do something different.
All right.
But you know what? Never mind. That's why we started where we end or where we start, man. It's about you, and that's cool.
It's about her. That's it.
The therapy, what's the outcome that's different? Because if you can't have a different beginning with the man you start a family with, you can at least get to where you have mutual respect. You can at least get to the point to where the kids don't feel the tension. Because I don't care about your dating life or his. I'm talking about those boys. That's why the Black community is in a position it is. What are the boys seeing? How the boys, and the hard hearts of far too many women regarding their interpersonal relationship with the men. I don't give a shit about the relationship with the men. I care about the boys. You want to have a child out here in the market? They go on no. How'd you deal with your ex-husband? How your boys coming along?
Yeah, I'm not in the market. I haven't tested.
It doesn't matter, man. That's my point is, you said you fear the market because you don't feel like there's any hope. There is not hope. And there should not be hope for this kind of stuff.
You're right. You're right.
Like you said, I didn't plan on the divorce. Right. I didn't plan on the divorce. Well, if you didn't plan on the divorce, but you did the behaviors, you're like, well, unbeknownst to me. The man didn't divorce you after an argument. One argument. This is prolonged. But then you walked away from the marriage where you're a housewife, you got alimony and child support. His financial position has changed. And what you've told us is he's changed his financial position damn near on purpose.
He quit his job.
Damn near on purpose. And his purpose with changing his financial position was to pay less child support. Makes absolutely no sense.
But why would he quit his job, Kevin?
Ma'am, I don't know why somebody would quit their job to pay less child support. That means he has less money. And that's the point. And the fact of the matter, you're still trying to make it, this is how you think of him? Fine. That's why I'm going to let it keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. You're coming at this from a negative standpoint. He did it to pay less child support. That also means he has less money to live on too, right? Less quality of life, less free money, right?
Right.
Uh-huh. How's that benefited?
I mean, I don't know. He wasn't paying.
It doesn't benefit him. That's the point.
He
And
didn't.
all he does is get further and further and behind in child support to where they garnish you for the maximum amount. The state's coming after you, and the only person who could turn this shit off is you. Because the judge ain't gonna do it. The family court system ain't gonna do it because they make money off of it. And if he is being if he's telling you the reason I'm here because I'm under financial, when men can't provide, men start to feel worthless. And men don't want to feel worthless in front of their boys. So a lot of times they feel like they're doing their sons a favor by not being around because they don't want to show a poor representation of a man. And if you can't do anything to help fix that for your sons, you might want to consider that. But you got to get out of your way first. But the world ain't going to tell you this. The world's going to tell you, no, girl, you right, such and so forth. You're going to get the sister chorus and the high five and all the women. But at the end of the day, your boys are sitting around not even asking for their daddy no more. What's the cost of all that? How much that going to cost? How much therapy is that going to cost?
Haram!
Something to think about. There are no easy solutions in human interactions. But you can turn this off. And if it works out in the negative, you can always turn it back on, can't you?
Yeah, I can, right?
Go find out.
I can, right?
Have a good one.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, I'm going to leave it right here. This was pretty crazy. I'm about to eat some food. I'm going to probably get back online in about another 30 minutes, and we're going to continue this. This is Kevin Samuels' last Instagram stream. After this woman, he's talking to another woman. Major shouts out to Kevin Samuels and everyone that's with him. Can't wait to get back online to be with y'all. So, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. But y'all, come on, I'm a struggle streamer. Y'all gotta help me out. Come on, help me, help you, help me, help you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm gonna be back in about 30 minutes. But yeah, so stay tuned, and like I said, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get that notification for when I'm live. Until the next time, peace.